Hey guys, welcome back. Today is a very exciting episode that so many of you have been anxiously waiting for. If you have been watching my Christmas tree series, you may have noticed beautiful trees with a technique that you have not likely seen before, the draped Christmas tree skirt. This gorgeous way of decorating your Christmas tree will have everyone in awe this Christmas season. So forget about the tree skirts, let's create tree gowns. So this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited for this episode, so let's get started. So for today's video, I'm going to be using my own 12-foot Christmas tree in my entryway to illustrate how to create this design. And so first of all, just a couple of pre-tips before you get started. Make sure that when you put up your Christmas tree that you do a lot of nice fluffing of your tree. You want to make sure that you fluff your tree really well so that way it's not that flat appearance that it has when it comes out of the box, and that you're creating a perfect canvas to start your beautiful tree skirt design on. Now to create the tree skirt, it's actually a large bolt of fabric. The fabric that I will be using in this video, I got from a company online that was called the Tablecloth Factory. And I felt that the price of the fabric that I found on this website was really a great deal. And so I actually ended up ordering 10 yards of this beautiful satin red fabric. And I also ordered a couple of these draping chiffon long pieces of fabric as well that are really perfect for putting in the tree to accent this tree skirt that we're going to create today. Now for my tree, I would like to do a little bit of an accent on the tree to really make my tree skirt that we're going to create shine. And so I'm going to start by adding in some of that chiffon draping material, and I'm going to create a diamond shaped pattern throughout my Christmas tree. This works really well with this type of material because if you would do it with ribbon, it's just not going to have that full effect that it does if you use the fabric instead. Okay guys, and now I've got about 10 yards of this satin fabric off of the bolt, and so I'm going to go ahead and start to attach this to the tree. And this is the magic part, which looks really magical but really is not that difficult to do. So first of all, when you're looking at your satin, you've got a shiny side and you've got much more of a matte side, so make sure you've got your shiny side out when you're doing this. We're going to start at the end here. I'm going to just gather this up by doing a little bit of a pleating effect here, and we're going to do that on the shiny side. Now to pleat this, I'm just going to go through with pinching that between my fingers and my thumb here, and then I just pull out my ring finger and my thumb as I go back and forth to create this pleating effect. And I just do that to get this started. It's not really going to have big peaks that are going to stay, or big pleats that are going to stay, but what it does is just going to create some structure to what I want to get started here. So now that I have that done, I'm going to pinch these fingers and remove that one, my ring finger, and so now I have a little bit more of a structure here. You see I have these nice pleats to get this kind of gathered with and get this started. I just use a branch to anchor that into the tree. And now what you want to do is kind of go along here and go about 2.5 to 3 feet out on each one here. And this is the edge, but I don't necessarily want the edge, okay? I'm going to come down a little bit from the edge, pick that up, okay? And I'm going to do a small drape and attach it to the tree. Okay, same thing. Gonna come down here, come down a couple of feet, 1, 2.5, come down into the fabric a little bit, pinch it, kind of drop it and let it create some rippling here. And anchor it into my tree.
You can already see that it's starting to get a very beautiful, very nice effect that we're getting going around this tree. So these here I'm going to do something with at the top, so we'll come back to that after. So don't worry about the ends of your sashes, we're going to make something nice with that. So I'm going to keep going around the tree. You want to be careful that because the fabric is somewhat folded in half, that you're not grabbing it too far down that you can see the matte side. You want to make sure you're keeping it on, draping on the shiny side.
And so if you decorate your Christmas tree and you would like to add the skirt afterwards, that is also perfectly fine. But because I'm creating a dress-like sculpture on my tree, I'm actually going to start with it so that I can use it as somewhat of a base for my entire design. And so, you know, some people may do a regular Christmas tree with just ornaments and ribbon and things like that, and you can actually do the tree skirt last in that case. But if you're going to create something like what I'm doing, it's best to start with that so that you can kind of use that as the base for your entire tree. And that's why you see me somewhat starting in the middle of the tree and working down, because this is going to be the base for the overall design of the tree. I want to create something unique that you may have not seen before. And so I think that a really common tree that you always see in every designer shop is essentially a maximalist look and appearance to a tree with lots of picks and lots of ornaments and just that nice 3D texture coming out of the tree and the random ribbon and all that. And however, this creates a very gorgeous, beautiful tree. I love this look. It's something that you have seen many times before. And so I hope that this tree kind of inspires you as well to think outside the box in different ways that you can create a beautiful tree for your home. And in my case, I was inspired to create one that looks like a ball gown, essentially. So this is my winter Christmas lady. And so we're going to make a beautiful Christmas tree this year with her beautiful skirt and her beautiful gown. Now you can stop at this point. However, I like to take my bolt of fabric back over the design in somewhat of a longer swag to cover up that top portion. And so what you can do is either do another layer in the same pattern a little bit higher to create two ruffles essentially, or you can come across like I did and I just create a really nice long swag that just covers up the top portions of where I anchored all those pieces to the tree. And all of the places where you attach, you can always add something there to hide those attachments, whether that's a flower or some picks or some ornaments. You can be a little bit relaxed when it comes to, you know, how that looks, because it can all be covered up in the end. But the main thing is you want to make sure that you're getting the nice draping effect, and the fabric that's really going to make sure that you get that look is going to be something that's in that satin material. Again, I just want to mention that because I think that if the material doesn't have a lot of movement and motion, it will be more difficult for you to get this look. And I find that the shinier the fabric, the sheen on the fabric is, the better that it's going to perform, because that light's going to reflect off of there and it's going to give a lot more of that contrasting appearance to the ruffles that you're creating. And what that's going to do is just give you that really elegant and ruched appearance that you're looking for in that draped tree skirt.
So now we have a beautiful looking ball gown, and I think that I want to go in with this ribbon here. This is a really cool ribbon that I got from Hobby Lobby, and this looks very architectural to me. This also reminds me even something like a very fancy garment. So I thought it would be really nice to add to my dress that I'm creating on this beautiful Christmas lady here. So we're going to go ahead and just tuck some of this in across the top here.
Now to finish that tree skirt off, you can certainly add in additional ribbon or even garlands to drape over that, just to give even more of a dynamic effect. I find that when you're decorating something, that layers is how you're really going to bring in the magic of something. And so especially because on the bottom half of this tree, I kept it quite simple because I wanted that strong contrast between the tree and the ribbon that I was applying. screen. I didn't want to fill up all of the space and lose the visual effect of the diamond shapes that I was creating for the bottom of this tree skirt. And so I actually went ahead and I added in some nice jewel ornaments that I got from Decorator's Warehouse, and I put them on all of my junctions of the diamonds, and in between, inside the diamonds, I put a whole bunch of red ornaments, but I didn't put them on the outside branches. I stuck them inside the tree to give it extra depth and dimension and a little bit of that pop of color, but it was definitely not distracting from the pattern that we created. I want to mention also something that I did in my Christmas tree that you might be able to notice in some of the video here is that I actually add twinkling lights into the tree prior to decorating it. And the reason that I do this is I believe that that twinkling light adds a nice amount of motion to the tree and that adds a lot of sparkle to the Christmas tree. And so I feel like it just adds to that diamond sparkly ruby effect that I wanted in this opulent Christmas tree. So guys, that's how you're going to get the most magical tree gown that anyone has ever seen. And so wait till you try this out this Christmas. Everyone is going to love it. If you would like to see how I finish off this beautiful Christmas queen, I'm going to go ahead and continue on with finishing up the Christmas decorations on this tree. And I hope that you enjoyed the draping portion of this video, because I know that so many of you have been just waiting so patiently for that. Now, to finish off this tree, I wanted to create this somewhat dramatic color line on this tree, and did that using tulle and some of this hidden underneath for a little bit of sparkle, some of this red garland, and just to get that nice fluffy appearance. And I have that collar then anchored to the tree with this beautiful ribbon. I did the variety of the black and red with that red structured ribbon that I had mentioned previously. And then I'm going to take some of the black tulle in throughout the tree, just so where the bustle of the tree is. And that is going to then crisscross to create a design that I would like to showcase for the shape of the tree between the red and the black. I was really inspired by this black and red ribbon that I showed you there at the beginning of the video. And so I'm going to take all my flowers and just start to create this pattern and follow along that crisscross just to fill it in. And I'm going to do the poinsettias and the red magnolias and my red ornaments and ribbon in the red portion. And then I'm going to go into the black portion and fill that in with black ornaments and black ribbon, and really make sure that this is nice and full. At the top of this tree, I add in some red beaded garland. This ornament garland, I would like to look something similar to a necklace, and then I top it off with one of those gemstone ornaments just to make it look like a necklace. And I also add in a lot of these gemstones into the crown of this tree, where I'm creating a very dramatic topper using red picks as well as picks that I created as a DIY in another video from my Winter Wonderland Christmas tree video last year, and also some of these picks that I got from David Christopher's with the gemstones as well. And all these little crystals that are hanging there, I think really give a dramatic effect to the topper of this tree. And then I also layered in some of the red beaded garland that I draped down into the skirt as well, just to give layers of opulence to this tree. I did add quite a bit of ribbon to the back of my tree as well, just because I don't have it fully decorated, and I think that as you're going up the steps you can see that part of the tree, and so I think it's a good way to finish that off and so that it doesn't look unfinished. And so the other thing I want to mention to you is that I talk in my videos frequently about setting the scene, and I do the same thing in my own home. And so you can see along my staircase that I'm accenting the tree that I created with a lot of the fabric draping, and I brought in some more of the ornament garlands, and just to create a really homogeneous appearance. And I do frequently add in themed rooms as well. So this room and the dining room next to it have both a red hue and theme to it, and so I use one of my ornament chandeliers to accent the transition between this kind of red and black dramatic Christmas tree to the red and green dining room classic Christmas that I have themed there. And so it's one of the ways that I can kind of transition these two rooms together are using some of these ornament chandeliers, and I created those in a DIY on my channel that you can check out in another video as well. So guys, I'm so happy with the way that this tree turned out. I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are on it. Two things. So I'd like to know if you enjoyed learning how to create the tree skirt. This is going to be a lot more opulent for your Christmas tree this year. And the second part of that is this is a very different type of Christmas tree decorating than I think that you have probably seen before. And so it's definitely not your classic way of decorating a Christmas tree. So I'd be interested to hear if you like this different look, and if you would be interested in trying something like that as well. So guys, I had a lot of fun today. The next video we're going to be tackling in my home design series is going to be a really fun video where we're going to talk about the Christmas trees in my living room, where I have a Winter Wonderland theme, and I have two Christmas trees there. I have a somewhat Narnia inspired Winter Wonderland Christmas tree versus the glam inspired Winter Wonderland Christmas tree, and so I'm very curious to hear what you think about those trees and which one becomes your voted favorite. And so I hope to see you next time in my home design series, where we're going to be tackling those two Christmas trees. If you like this video guys, give me a thumbs up, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye for now.